and Marana Mornings. Arizona Sports, the local sports leader. Bickley Blast.
Quarterbacks normally talk on Wednesdays in the NFL, except today is Wednesday, and the Cardinals have nothing scheduled because they do not plan on publicly choosing between Josh Dobbs and Clayton Tune until Sunday morning, conceivably because they think it gives them a competitive advantage. Now, I'm not sure about that, but I can guarantee this. 31 other NFL teams, cities, and fan bases are likely rolling their eyes at our football franchise again. Now, in some ways, I admire Jonathan Gannon for his conviction, for not being afraid of a little showmanship and gamesmanship, for acting like he's one-upping Washington head coach Ron Rivera with his tactics, an NFL head coach for 13 years. Now, I'm sure Rivera thinks that's kind of cute, and I'm sure he's relaying that very message to his defense, and I think this shell game the Cardinals are playing has a better chance of backfiring than providing some sort of competitive edge. But the truth is, it's going to be this way for a while. The Cardinals and their impossibly young coaching staff have giant targets on their backs because of all the organizational dysfunction that preceded them, because they are viewed as the latest symptom of a larger problem. Shut up, Jarrett! It is on Gannon and his coaching staff to prove otherwise starting Sunday in Washington, D.C., and I'm going to say it. I admire Gannon's ability to take a punch and still lead with his chin.
How we decided to do it is I picked them, and there's a reason why I picked them, and they have a role for our team, and I explained to our team what their role and their responsibility is, and felt really good about those conversations. Our team felt really good about the guys that we ended up picking, and, those guys could – if I was gone for a month, they could run the team. And I feel really good about those guys. They demonstrate who we want to be as an organization, who we want to be as a team. And, I'm excited for those guys because they were excited too.
That's Jonathan Gannon yesterday on Burns and Gambo here on Arizona Sports. His weekly visit, he'll join Burns and Gambo every week on their show. I did get a little bit of a kick out of about the captains. If I was gone for a month, they'd be able to run the team. That's kind of interesting timing considering what's in the news about the Cardinals right now.
Oh, yeah. No, listen, exactly. So I do think that what they're doing in terms of their quarterback decision, it's being roundly mocked in the NFL. In fact, I saw a link. One NFL team still hasn't named its Week 1 starter. And when it's a team that's expected to not be any good and you think it's giving you a competitive advantage, you're kind of... You're poking the proverbial bear, if you will. But that being said, I like the fact that Jonathan Gannon doesn't seem to care. And
there is something to be said for that.
There is something to be said for that. There's a new story in The Athletic on Jonathan Gannon, a long sit-down interview with him where he kind of... Where I found it to be very fascinating. He kind of mocks the idea that he lost Philadelphia, the city of Philadelphia, the Super Bowl, but he admits the second coverage breakup and bust up in that Super Bowl was indeed his fault. But he just basically came out and said that as a coordinator, there were a lot of times in his coaching career when he thought what was going on was BS and he couldn't say a word about it. And now he said, now I don't have to worry about any of that, and it's freeing. And I'm like, okay, I'm vibing with this guy. Some people think he's socially awkward because of that social media clip that went out. As you pointed out first, that was the Cardinals social media team doing their head coach dirty without even knowing they were. By condensing the clip the way they did, they created a reaction that was not rooted in reality.
No, and it, for the critics that watched the 37-second clip or however long it was, and they said, oh, that's low energy. They're exactly right. That was a low energy. It was weird to hear the message that was being portrayed in the style that it was being portrayed.
But you watch it in full context, and it's completely different.
Pat McAfee on his show came out and said he loved the message.
So did I.
And a lot of people didn't take the time to watch the whole episode to see what it's all about. You hit on something that I think is very interesting. Jonathan Gannon doesn't seem to care. And I don't mean that in a bad way. About this, like, he has been a whipping boy early on for the way he left Philadelphia, the treatment he got from Philadelphia fans who, by and large, wanted him gone and got their wish, but they're still upset about it because of the way the Super Bowl ended. He's just kind of to a certain degree as a head coach, he's kind of marched to the beat of his own drummer, and that is a little bit refreshing. We'll see how this plays out on Sunday.
Now, so for those who are looking for a brand new future with Caleb Williams, and for those who think that Mike Florio is way off base by suggesting Caleb Williams might stay in school to avoid coming to a team like the Cardinals, according to GQ magazine, Caleb Williams' father says that Caleb can stay in school another year if he does not like the situation he would be in with the team picking first overall. He said, quote, "The funky thing about the NFL draft process is he'd almost be better off not being drafted than being drafted first. The system is completely backwards. The way the system is constructed, you go to the worst possible situation, the worst possible team, the worst organization in the league. Because of their desire for parity, that team gets the first pick. So it's the gift and the curse." So he says that this is possibility. So clearly, if you want Caleb Williams and you're the Cardinals, you have to have a dysfunction for a year.
Can I continue to read that quote?
Oh,
by
sure.
the way?
Yeah.
You left off, so it's the gift and the curse. I mean, I've talked to Archie Manning. His career was shot because he went to a horrible organization. I've talked to Lincoln Riley, and Kyler Murray struggled because of where he was drafted. Baker Mayfield struggled mightily because of where he was drafted. The organizations matter. And then there's a break in case of emergency option that Carl is, that's his father, keeping in mind. Quote, "He's got 2 shots at the apple. So if there's not a good situation, the truth is he can come back to school." Okay. And then a great team is going to have the number 1 pick the next year?
Right.
And I don't know if the facts are exactly right.
Yeah, listen, it's easy to say that until you're turning your nose up at how much money now is guaranteed for the number 1 pick overall?
A lot of money.
Yeah.
A lot of money.
So you might get 10 mil at USC, and you're turning down 50 mil to join a football team when you don't even know if next year's situation is going to be any better. Yeah, it's real easy to say that.
Yeah, and you're risking going back to college, getting hurt.
Yeah, Kyler Murray was the offensive rookie of the year. I wouldn't say that he struggled because of the organization. Baker Mayfield had early success in Cleveland. I wouldn't say he struggled because of the organization.
Well, now is Carl Williams saying he talked to Kevin Murray, who said Kyler Murray has been held down by the Cardinals, or was it the head coach? This is why at the very
that's from Lincoln Riley. I've talked to Lincoln Riley, and Kyler Murray struggled.
Okay, got it. Okay. So to me, I think that's the baseline. The Cardinals need to change their own narrative as an organization, if nothing else, this year. No more dysfunction. Have a plan. Stick to it. Be professional.
Yeah, it seems like it should be doable, but considering all the
turmoil,
NFL, man, the turmoil
they're
of the
coming
last
for your
year.
head in the NFL, Vinny.
Yes, they are. No doubt about it.